to the last installment of Try This Thursday. We're going out on a bang because I'm going to show you today how you can make your very own sun catchers at home using computer paper, crayons, a permanent marker, a paper hole punch, some yarn or string, baby or cooking oil, a cup, and cotton swabs. First of all though, let's talk about how this works. How can we take paper and turn it into something that the light will pass through? Well, here's how it works. When a light wave hits an object, a few things could happen depending on what the object is made of. The wave could be absorbed by the object, it could be reflected, like a mirror, it could be scattered apart, or it could be refracted, that happens in water, or it could be transmitted, passed through, making the object transparent. So that's what we want to do to our paper, right? We want to make the light transmit through the paper. The color of the object that we see is the color of light that is reflected. Paper is made of fibers, and there are little pockets of air between the fibers. When oil, grease, or fat comes in contact with paper, tiny droplets of it fill up all the little gaps between the fibers of the paper. Think about if you've ever seen a pizza box. Once you take all the pizza out, how you can tell exactly the circle where the pizza was because it kind of looks shiny. That's the oil absorbing into those air pockets in the cardboard of the pizza box. As a result, light doesn't have to do all that bouncing and scattering, says Larry Schneckel. It only has to pass from air through the grease. Light does not have to pass from paper back to the eye. The paper is transparent, or to be more technically correct, translucent. So we're going to use this scientific process to create a sun catcher. So in order to make your sun catcher, first you're going to have to choose a design. You can print something out, or you can draw a design. You want to use a permanent black marker to outline your image. So for instance, I used some clip art from our summer discovery reading program this year that I traced with pencil and then went over with black marker to make the outline. Then you're going to color the entire paper, the entire design, with markers or crayons. I chose to use crayons. I like the look of crayons a little bit better, but markers work just fine if that's what you have handy. Then if you're going to want to hang this up, like in a window or outside, you're going to need to poke a hole, punch a hole with a hole punch, and thread some yarn or string through it, and then tie the ends together so that you can hang up your project. Then you're going to pour a small amount of oil into a cup. You really need just a teeny tiny amount because it goes a long way. You don't need very much, and you don't want to coat it on there so that it's like pooling on there where you can see it. You want it to just be, you just want to cover the back of it in a thin layer because otherwise it will never ever dry. So dip the cotton swab into the oil and apply a very thin amount to the back of your project. And then you're going to allow the oil to dry before hanging in a window. So this will never completely dry all the way. And by that I mean, if I put another piece of paper underneath this sun catcher and let it sit there for a few days, some of the excess oil from in here would transfer to that paper. But it does get to where you can touch it without like your skin feeling wet because there's so much oil in it. The oil has to absorb into the paper, but the paper never completely gets rid of it, if that makes sense. So that's why you want to hang it up in a window, because you can very easily clean the glass off when you're done looking at it, or hang it outside because then it won't be touching any windows. Once it's done, if you hold it up to the window, you'll be able to, the light will pass through it, and you'll be able to see through it and create your own sun catcher. This is the same basic idea, sort of, that a stained glass window uses. In the activity guide in the description below, there's a really cool video from the show How It's Made to learn about how stained glass panels are made, how that glass is made to be colored so that the light reflects through it. So, as I said, this is our last Try This Thursday. I've had a great time giving you some ideas of things that you can do, or experiments, or things you can learn about this summer, and we'll be back again soon. Have a great rest of your summer.